Ready, set, showtime.
And welcome to the Ready, Set, Show podcast, where you can't say anything nice.
We will gladly say it for you.
Trick or treat, bitches, it's DT.
Oogity boogity hoes, it's Letty.
And welcome to the Ready, Set, Show podcast, home of podcast greatness. Episode 25, calling this one House of Horrors. Glad to have everybody back. Just me and Letty today.
What up?
Letty, how are you?
I'm doing pretty great. How are you, DT?
I'm doing great. How was your weekend?
I had a pretty great weekend. Me, Kristen, friend Esther, we all took the kids to the pumpkin patch. Got them a pumpkin, did some carving. I was the stereotypical trailer trash mom. My vape's been down, so I had a pack of cigarettes in my hand with a twisted tea. So I just laughed the whole time, and Kristen and Esther looked at me like I was stupid.
White trash at its finest,
White
lady.
trash at its finest.
Well
I kept
played.
it classy, though. I wasn't in a beater and some shorts, so I had a t-shirt and jeans on, so it was all right.
Did you have a pack of Marlboros rolled up in your sleeve? I was like...
No, I was a pack of Camels.
Shout out to Mo and Ben who couldn't join us this week. I actually started back working, and it feels good to actually be back to work.
Oh, yeah.
Wish our job was the podcast, but hey,
Oh, yeah.
one can dream. But due to the hours with that, with Letty's hours, we had to do it on a Monday. So, unfortunately, they couldn't join us this week, but they will be back. We're hoping maybe this weekend or next weekend they will be rejoining us, so look out for that. And next weekend is when we are planning to have EJ and her husband on the show. They are paranormal investigators. I'm sure you guys have heard us kind of talk about them. Letty, let them know about EJ.
Well, EJ, we met her at work, of course, because, that's where we meet all of our friends at, because we're adults.
Yes.
And she's a pretty cool chick. Her husband's pretty cool. They do ghost hunts, and I'm excited because I'm one of them skeptical people. I want to see if we can learn some shit, and they might be able to change my mind to a believer.
Yeah, so it'll be cool to kind of get them to let you see the side of it. And I think sometimes things do happen, and it may sound crazy, but I almost wonder sometimes ghosts are like, I ain't gonna fuck with them because they're recording, or you know what I mean? Because it just seems like a lot of the shit that happens, it's when people aren't documenting.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure there's skeptics, a lot of people that just flat out don't believe in it. But I just think sometimes people just think it's so unbelievable because it's not an everyday thing.
Oh, yeah, it's not an everyday thing, and you can't get solid proof every time.
Yeah, exactly.
We had our little talk with them last week. They said that you might go somewhere and not even get anything that time, but you go a week later and it's like active as fuck. So,
I mean, me and my friends, we used to do that when we were younger. We would hit different haunted houses, and I mean, yeah, there was times that you would hear stuff. I mean, there's some things maybe you could account it to the house, but there was some weird shit that has happened to me that we'll get into next weekend when we talk to them. Even some shit happened here where I live now that I was actually telling them about, because guys, we had talked to them last week, kind of some things that, because they're under contract, so there's obviously some things that we can talk about, some things we can't. So we talked to them for a few hours, and it's going to be an interesting show.
Oh yeah, it is, and I can't wait. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. All right, Letty, who you shouting out this week?
My shout outs this week are the same. I gotta shout out my beautiful daughter, Ruby. Mommy loves you. I mean, you gave me all the sass in the world these last 4 days, but
You're grounded.
You're still my little baby. Friends and family who listen to this, thank y'all for supporting us. I greatly appreciate it. DT giving me this opportunity. I could give a little special shout out to my little half brother Ronnie. He turned 5 the 10th.
What
Happy
up, Ronnie?
birthday, homie.
Happy birthday, Ronnie.
And you listeners, we greatly appreciate the support you give us. I mean, one day we'll make it, and we will all remember you.
I feel like we have made it.
I feel like we have to, because we can go out to our friends, and there's some people at where I work at, and Mo's got a lot of people who listen to us too, so it's pretty great. And I like talking about the show with the people who aren't as close to it as what Mo and Ben are. They just hear the episodes, and it's great to hear what they have to say about it. DT, who you shouting out?
Me, I gotta thank my family. I love them so much, man. They really do to be at my best every day. And man, like I said, things are real tough lately, but they're getting better. Glad to be back working. Shout out to everybody I work with. Cool people. Actually, one guy is actually going to check out the show. Shout out to Chase.
What's up, Chase?
Yeah, hopefully Jim, check it out, Jim.
What up, Jim? I know you, Jim. You know me, Jim.
Definitely got to shout him out. We got to thank Drama Bryant. She's behind the scenes, but she's always killing it for the Ready, Set, Show podcast. If you got a small business and you're trying to get your name out there, even if it's a paid web page, whatever it may be, you know, Facebook group, whatever. If you are a big business and you're getting overcharged, Drama Brian at socialpoint24.com. She's got great packages, man. She's cheap. We've had a lot of business here locally here in East Tennessee that have switched to her because she's got blogs. She'll keep you in the loop. So definitely check her out again. That's socialpoint24.com. If you need to speak with her further, check her out at socialpoint24mail@gmail.com. As always, Drama, we thank you. Kellen Keller, the man that inspired me to get this podcast going. Got to thank you, Kellen, and all the listeners, man. We really do appreciate you guys. Thanks for the support so much. All right, on to same bullshit, different day. Letty, we're going to do something kind of cool today, I feel like.
I like cool shit.
So we have to, me and you agree on all of these, mind you. We're going to do our top 10 greatest horror, slasher, paranormal, gore, all that. Our top 10 favorite movies of all time, horror movies. So let's start at number 10 here. I even left them blank on the show notes. So what would your number 10 be? Number
10? I'm thinking like Jeepers Creepers. The second one, because the first one was all right and it was scary, but the second one was scary and made me laugh.
All right. I can roll with that.
Jeepers Creepers too.
Jeepers Creepers. Where'd you get those beepers? Why did I sing this? I don't know. That's a good one.
Everybody's seen the second one. Everybody knows that, you know, it got a little hilarious there at the end. And every time I talk about that movie, the first scene that pops into my head is where he's jumping through the field with one leg and one arm.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That was
my thing is, name one other movie like Jeepers Creepers. It was different.
It was scary. It was different. It was fucking scary. I mean, growing up, the first one, I could not watch the first one by myself.
But if he could fly, why do he always drive that creepy truck? I never understood that. Like that truck was scary as hell.
Yeah, the truck was the scariest one. And just to forewarn you, don't watch the third one. It was terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't that good. The second one I could roll with, but...
Yeah, the third one was so bad. Like, me and Ben made fun of it the whole night.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
TJ and Mo were passed out on the other side of the couch because it was so bad.
Damn. All right, number 9. What we got for number 9? Oh,
man.
I would probably say...
Skeleton Key.
Skeleton, yeah. Skeleton Key was good, yeah. I'll rock that one.
I could see that, yeah.
The Skeleton
That was scary as fuck.
Yeah, because that... I like unique ones where they have it done. All right, number 8. What do we do for number 8? I would say the Rob Zombie movies.
Like Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah. I'd say Devil's Rejects. I liked it better than House of, The Devil's. You cool with that?
Oh, yeah. And I mean, Tutti fucking fruity.
Tutti fucking fruity.
First time I ever watched it was 8th grade. And I watched it and I'm like, what the fuck? I've seen way worse shit than this.
It's pretty creepy,
but it's creepy, though. Yeah. But, like, I guess back and whenever it came out, my parents just didn't think I should watch it, so.
All right, number 7. I think we go classic. I think you gotta go... Cabin Fever was pretty fucked up. Oh, man,
Cabin Fever was fucked up. Holy shit.
That's a good one.
Oh, man.
Cabin Fever, dude. Just because, man, that shit was insane, how their fucking flesh was just rotten.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're still alive while this shit is happening.
Yeah.
And they were all, like, turning on each other and shit. Oh, my God. Number 6.
Number 6, if I had to choose that.
What was it called? Evil Dead.
Evil Dead.
All right. Evil Dead is number 6. That was a classic series.
Oh, it was. And even the remake was good, too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, even with the chick as the main character. Like, I mean, I thought they did really great on it.
All right, number 5. We're getting into the top 5.
Top 5. Oh, man.
I think you got to go Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th.
Yeah, Jason has to go start in the top 5.
Yeah, even though some people probably put it that higher, but...
Probably, but as long as you don't, go to the camp, you should be fine.
Yeah. Number 4?
Number 4, Leatherface.
Yes, definitely.
Like, that dude,
that whole fucking family was
not only
fucked
are they fucked up, but he's got probably in my opinion, one of the most intimidating weapons. Like, I don't want to hear a fucking chainsaw at 2 in the morning while I'm walking.
Hell no. and then the whole family, you know, because they took over that town, and even the cop was the brother, so he'd fucking bring them there. It was crazy. All right, number 3. We're getting into the nitty gritty.
Ooh.
Big titty.
For me, I'm going to go with Children of the Corn.
God, yes.
That
was
was
a fucking crazy movie.
That was... It scares me.
Yeah, dude.
Like, it actually scares me to this day still.
Number 2, I think you gotta go Nightmare on Elm Street.
Number 2, oh yeah.
Number 1, I would have to say number 1, Halloween.
Oh yeah, Halloween.
Yeah, definitely.
Even though he's got like the pussiest fucking weapon.
Yeah, change your fucking weapon, Michael.
Change your weapon, Michael.
But you know, I was thinking about this too. He killed people with his bare hands.
He did.
Too. He was strong as shit. Like, I think we were kind of making it out like Jason was just way more powerful, but
no, man, he fucked shit up too.
He had strength too, but I don't know. I think Jason would ultimately got him.
Yeah, with me when it comes to Halloween, do you ever watch a Halloween H2O or whatever?
Yeah.
With like Busta Rhymes in it in that house. That's like the most memorable one for me because I've seen it probably at least a good 10 times over.
Not one of my favorites, but still, it was still good, but it wasn't one of my favorites.
Yeah.
That's why I've just always kind of gravitated toward Halloween when it came to horror movies, and especially Halloween time. Like, I mean,
not only is it a slasher, but it's got the name Halloween. So.
Well, Letty, I think we got a unique list. Number 10, we got Jeepers Creepers, pretty much 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Number 9, we got The Skeleton Key, which was another classic. If you like voodoo, definitely check it out. Number 8, Devil's Rejects. You could put The House of a Thousand Corpses in there too. Number 7, we got Cabin Fever, just because, dude, that movie to this day creeps me out.
Oh yeah.
Number 6, we have the Evil Dead series, just because they're a classic.
Oh yeah.
Great movie. Number 5, we've got Friday the 13th movies. Classic.
I mean, you can't go wrong with them.
No. Number 4, we have Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Another great series of movies. Number 3, you got a great old school classic, Children of the Corn.
Damn.
Number 2, you got Nightmare on Elm Street. How could you not go wrong with that? And number 1, our all-time favorite, our boy Michael Myers, Halloween.
Keep it going, Michael.
Yeah, guys. So that's going to round out our list. Let us know who you guys, what your top 10 would be. Letty, how you feeling about the top 10?
I'm liking it. I mean, it's a nice mix of what I grew up with, of course, the classics, and a little bit of new shit in there, so.
Pretty good on the fly, too.
Oh, yeah, especially on the fly. We got this.
Yeah, I think it was a great mix, a great blend of classic movies, too. You know, we left the OGs in there, a little bit of new school, but...
Yeah, well, I mean, the only one people might disagree with is we didn't put Pennywise on there.
Oh, yeah, dude.
But
wow.
I'm not scared of clowns, though, and the only reason a lot of people find it terrifying is because he's a clown.
But I did think that movie was very interesting.
It was.
I just thought it was creepy. Not so much that he was a clown. We'll get into this later. I'll explain more to you about him.
We'll
it's
do that
actually
later.
Some crazy shit. All right, now moving on to the highlighted band or artist of the week. Letty, who you rocking this week?
Person I'm rocking this week is I'm going to keep to the strange theme for the month of October, and I'm going to stick with Stevie Stone. Now, this dude, of course, I've heard from him through my baby daddy because he loves strange music. And he's like your party rapper you go to when you want to, like, party, just your gangster rap, I guess, easiest way to put it. It's coming from, like, the whitest person, you know?
Yeah.
His name, originally known as Stephen Williams, he was born July 28th of 81. Better known by his stage name, Stevie Stone is an American rapper from Columbia, Missouri. He has signed to Tech Nine's Strange Music record label. He's released 5 studio albums, and his most recent was Level Up, which was released June 2nd of 2017. This guy, if you ever want to just sit there and get pumped, or you got a party going and you don't know what to throw on, anything he plays will more than likely fit at whatever party you go to.
Hell yeah.
3 songs I got for you. The first one is Run It. It's one of them songs, like, you put it on, you know you're gonna be bumping, just ready for it. I like to listen to this song a lot while I drive. Second song I got for you is Rain Dance. He's got Mystical and Tech Nine in it. It's basically songs about strippers. I mean, because the Rain Dance, you know, just throwing them ones on them, but it's still a good song. The last song, of course, is my number 1 party song by him. It's called Bring Liquor, Bring Bud.
All right.
So, like, the whole, I mean, it says, bring liquor, but bring bud. Let's get fucked up.
Need we say more?
Yeah, need we say more? I mean, you know you're going to have a good time once you hear that song going. But that's who I got this week. Check them out. If you like them, let me know. Need to see who you bumping.
Me, I'm going with my softer side here. This is kind of a band that I was going to kind of stick to my old school heavy bands that I've always liked for this month. But this band, really, to me, they mean a lot to me. And I know this is probably a little different than type of music that I do listen to. But I don't know. Maybe it's when you get older, you get a little more mellow. And this band, I'm telling you, man, they just have that music that just soothes your soul. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Makes you think. Hell, you might even get a little emotional. I don't know. But The Fray.
Good band.
Great band, man. And I love it because they define that like Modest Mouse, Muse, you know, they fit that mold, but they're more mellow. They're an American rock band from Denver, Colorado. They formed in 2002 by schoolmates Isaac Slade and Joe King. They have achieved success with the release of their debut album, How to Save a Life, which is a very good song.
Oh, yeah.
3 songs by them you definitely have to check out. Of course, How to Save a Life, number 1. A great song, just mellow. And this song really, I was going through a really rough time in my life and you know, on drugs and seeing a few of my friends and my cousin had passed and due to overdoses and stuff. And, you know, it really hits you. It brings out guilt, but it brings out just the emotional side of it. And I really enjoyed that song. Number 2, You Found Me. Like, I feel like this song kind of describes me and my fiance Darcy's relationship, you know, because I was at a rough point, but I was coming out of it. And then when I met her, it was like together we just kind of broke those chains. And so it always means a lot to me. And then number 3, Over My Head, just another great, relaxing, just good tune. I like that make you think music.
Oh, yeah.
You know, even if you might get a little emotional, that's the power of these type of bands. And I've always really enjoyed The Fray, probably more than any of the others. But definitely check those out, guys. We got The Fray, and then we got Stevie Stone from Strange Music. Definitely give them a listen. I'm sure most of you have probably heard The Fray, but check them out as Kinsley runs like a maniac through the house.
She's pumped for him, man.
She's pumped, man. When we get to the highlighted band artist of the week, she comes alive. All right, guys, now moving on to
Paging Dr. Douchebag.
Letty, who's pissed you off this week?
Well, mine's not really just a singular person. It's just a group of people, and I'm going to explain it the best way I can, because when I tried to explain it to DT here, it took us a minute, but yeah. I guess you could say people who can't take a hint, and not just anybody who can't take a hint. When it comes to relationships and being with people, after, say, you were interested, you talked to them, you found out that, you know, you really didn't like what they had to offer. I mean, not trying to sound like a bitch or anything, like, say, like, your personalities didn't click like the way you thought it would be.
You just weren't into them, they weren't your type.
Yeah, they just wasn't your type. I mean, everybody gets like that. And, you know, say you don't take the bitch route and ghost them, and you tell them, hey, I'm not interested, but I would like to be friends, you know, if you want someone to talk to, because, I mean, hell, you probably spent at least a week talking to them. I mean, and in my experiences, I've had guys like this. I mean, I know girls do it a lot, too. Be sitting there, not even hear from them for 2 weeks, and the next thing you know, they're blowing your phone up on every single social media platform.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a dude on my POF. He messaged me once. I didn't even message him back.
Yeah.
And next thing I know, I'm getting a message on my Facebook Messenger from the same guy.
Holy shit.
Just like, hey. And I'm just like sitting here thinking to myself, how the fuck did you find me? They'll sit there and they'll message you every day, sending you, hey, how are you? And you finally tell them, hey, I'm not interested, or, you know, they'll leave you alone, but then they come back and it's just a waste of time and you can't really handle it anymore because you know, it's getting annoying. If you're one of them people, I mean, even if you don't know if you're one of them people, just ask somebody.
Yeah.
If you're just like, hey, I've messaged this person 3 times this week and they've not messaged me back.
Yeah.
You would think, you know, they don't want to talk to me.
Yeah, don't go through crazy links to talk to this person when they don't even message you back.
So, for that, I mean, just because, I mean, everybody's probably had it, and we all know how that annoying they can be.
Yeah.
They're my douchebags for the week. DT, who you got?
Mine, we'll kind of elaborate more on this dude and why later, but Philip DeFranco, he's a YouTuber. He's got millions of followers, kind of does like a little news segment, kind of like Drama Alert.
Yeah.
Even though him and Keemstar don't really get along. But there's been a lot going on with a partnership he's done with BetterHelp. It involves his Patreons and stuff like that. Just a lot of shady shit. And again, we're going to kind of talk more about this later. But for that, Philip DeFranco, you son of a bitch, you're my douchebag of the week.
Douchebag.
Now moving on to the Urban Dictionary word of the week. Letty, I'm going to kick this one off if it's
Kick
okay
it off,
with you.
DT.
My word this week is going to be in the bag, which I didn't know it means. The act of being in your world, focused, being in the zone, on your grind. Which,
Fuck yeah.
I think that's really cool. My example is I be in my bag when I'm on the Ready Say Show podcast.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, it had a different meaning, but I like switching it up, but that's always
Oh, fuck
cool.
yeah.
Letty, what's your word this week?
Mine is do the damn thing. And it means do what you gotta do and do it well.
Hell yeah.
So apparently our things have a similar thing. You
Yeah.
know, you're on your grind, but make sure you're doing it well.
In the bag.
In the bag. All right. Mine is shit. We out on the Ready Set Show podcast, just doing the damn thing. You know.
Yeah.
You know, we got to get our examples across.
Hell
They
yeah.
need to know that we're fucking serious on this shit, so we do our damn thing.
Damn right. All right, guys, moving on to sports news. Boy, we just trucking today. I love it.
Man.
We don't fuck around.
Nah, man.
All right, guys, so this week we're going to start with Week 7 in college football. Man, Letty, I'm telling you, it was insane this week. Rivalry week was last week. This week probably blows that week out of
Oh
the
yeah,
water.
I mean we went over the scores and there were so many things that fucking surprised us.
Yeah, so I'll go over our teams and then kind of some other scores. Letty, she usually does NFL. So, number 23, South Florida beat unranked Tulsa 25-24. We had number 1 Alabama, who played Greenville High and beat them 39-10. I mean, they played Missouri, but it's just to the point to where Alabama.
I mean, it doesn't really matter
They're
anymore.
just so stacked, yeah. But their schedule is weak, is why I say that. And there's been a lot of announcers that say that. Then number 2 Georgia played Drama's number 13 LSU Tigers and beat them 36-16.
Get it, drama?
Yeah, man, I did not see this coming. Georgia has a stacked team. I don't know what happened. I didn't really catch the highlights on that one, but wow. Then we had number 3 Ohio State, Letty and Moe's team beat unranked Minnesota 30-14. Number 5 Notre Dame, who is on fire lately, just barely squeezes by unranked Pittsburgh 19-14, and that's
Damn.
crazy. But Pittsburgh been giving a lot of teams hell this year, man. I mean, they could easily be damn near 5-1, 4-2. Number 6 West Virginia. A lot of people thought, oh hey, when they really get tested, they'll get beat, and they were right. Unranked Iowa State, which a lot of people picked to win this game, surprisingly. Though Will Greer, he didn't play too well this game, but they beat Iowa State beats them 30-14. Number 7 Washington. A lot of people picked them to beat number 7 Oregon, but Oregon pulls out the win 30-27 in overtime, mind you.
Oh yeah.
Unranked Michigan State played number 8 Penn State and upset number 8 Penn State 21-17. Man, wow. A lot of good teams going down this week. We had unranked Baylor play another on-fire team at number 9 Texas, and Texas beats them 23-17. Number 10 UCF beats unranked Memphis 31-30. Another big game we had, number 12 Michigan plays number 15 Wisconsin, and Michigan destroys them 38-13.
Damn.
Number 14 Florida beats unranked Vanderbilt 37-27. By the way, my Florida State Seminoles, they had a bye week this week, so they didn't play. Number 16 Miami was upset by unranked Virginia 16-13.
Holy shit.
Another undefeated team, a lot of people thought when they're tested, number 19 Colorado, undefeated, was unfortunately finally beat by unranked USC 31-20.
Damn.
Kenzie's hype, boys. She's
Oh,
hype.
man.
Tennessee fans will be happy this week. Unranked Tennessee beats number 21 Auburn 30-24, and man, Auburn, they've lost. I think they've lost 3 of their last 4.
Damn.
I mean, yeah,
That's
dude,
crazy.
they're doing pretty bad. Number 22, Texas A&M. Who cares? That's going to be the scores for this week. That's Jimbo Fisher. He left our team. Fuck him. Who cares? But that's going to be the scores this week, guys. That's the top 25 teams. Again, my Florida State Seminoles, we had a bye week, so we didn't play. But congrats to your team, Letty,
Thank
and
you, DT.
Drama Bees teams.
Congrats, drama.
Hell yeah. So we got week 6 of the NFL. Letty, what happened?
All right, in week 6, mine and Mo's team, we got the Cowboys versus the Jaguars. We beat them 40-7. I mean,
Yeah, they smoked them.
They did. Like, unfortunately, I didn't get to watch anything. Had a pretty busy weekend. DT's team, the Raiders, faced the Seahawks. Unfortunately, they lost 27-3.
Woo!
Just to go over some more scores, we had the Eagles versus the Giants. Eagles pulled it 34-13. Buccaneers versus the Falcons. The Falcons beat them 34-29. Chargers versus the Browns. Chargers beat them 38-14. Colts versus Jets, 42-34. Jets beat them. Panthers versus Redskins. Redskins beat them 23-17. Had the Bills versus the Texans. Texans pulled it out 20-13. Had the Cardinals versus the Vikings. Vikings won 27-17. The Steelers versus the Bengals. The Steelers beat the Bengals by 28-21.
Mo won't like that.
Oh no, he will not. We had Dolphins versus the Bears, 31-28. Rams faced the Broncos. Rams beat them 23-20. Poor Tennessee. They may have finally won something in college, but they got their asses stomped by the Ravens, 21-0. We had Patriots versus the Chiefs, 43-40. Patriots won. And then today we got the Packers versus the 49ers. That'll happen tonight at 8:15. NFL for you for this week, boys and girls.
Hell yeah. All right, moving on to the Friday Night Lights. Guys, we got to talk our local teams around here. Let's see, we're going to start with, Johnson County Longhorns played North Green Huskies. And boy, did they beat the living shit out of North Green. They lost 57-0.
Holy shit.
Unicoi County Blue Devils amassed 450 yards on the ground en route to a 41-20 win over the West Green Buffaloes.
Damn.
I live right near West Green.
Yeah,
I hate
me
to
too.
hear that, man. The Rebels, South Green Rebels, man, they doing pretty good this year.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like 33-30. Apparently, it went into overtime. And
Holy shit.
Yeah, dude, it looks like damn. I'm gonna have to go back and read this shit because it looks like that was a hell of a game. I'm gonna say they beat them in OT 33-30. Then we got Chucky Doak took on, Claiborne. They win 23-12, so that was cool. The Black
Chucky
Knights.
Doak.
Hell yeah, Chucky Doak. Get them, Chucky Doak. Greenville goes actually this weekend. We'll play in this game right here. When I went to Greenville, this was a fucking huge game. They're going to be playing Elizabethton Cyclones.
Oh, shit.
Both teams are undefeated. Greenville's ranked 1, Elizabethton 2.
Oh, damn. That's
Yeah.
going to be a hell of a damn game.
Elizabethton was the team we would usually be undefeated, having a good year, and they would fucking spoil it, or we would maybe pull out a win. But I think the years that I went there, I don't think we ever beat them.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, they're always a tough opponent. But that's going to be it for Friday Night Lights, guys. That's the teams that played this week. If you're a fan of went to any of those high schools, let us know, man. We would love to hear it. Sounds like some entertaining fucking games.
Oh, it just
this
fucking
week.
sounds like it. Between South Green and then you got Greenville's that's coming up.
Man, that motherfucking South Green that shit went on for like 3 pages. I was like, Jesus,
We got to
Lord.
need the score.
South Green, they've got a new coach, and it's been said that, man, they're doing a lot. All right, guys, moving on to story time. Me and Letty are huge fans of creepypastas, and we had said this month we definitely wanted to at least read one creepypasta.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't see how you can mention creepypasta without mentioning The Rake.
Exactly.
It's a great story, so I'm going to read some of it, and then Letty's going to read the rest. So, guys, enjoy. Again, creepypasta. This one's called The Rake. During the summer of 2003, events in the northeastern United States involving a strange human-like creature sparked a brief local media interest before an apparent blackout was enacted. Little or no information was left intact, as most online and written accounts of the creature were mysteriously destroyed. Primarily focused in rural New York State, self-proclaimed witnesses told stories of their encounters with a creature of unknown origin, Emotion ranged from extremely traumatic levels of fright and discomfort to an almost childlike sense of playfulness and curiosity. While their published versions are no longer on record, the memories remain powerful. Several of the involved parties began looking for answers that year. In early 2006, the collaboration had accumulated nearly 24 documents dating between the 12th century and present day, spanning 4 continents. In almost all cases, the stories were identical. I've been in contact with a member of this group and was able to get some excerpts from their upcoming book, The Rake, Suicide Note, 1964. As I prepared to take my life, I feel it necessary to assuage any guilt or pain I have introduced through this act. It is not the fault of anyone other than him, for once I awoke and felt his presence, and once I awoke and saw his form. Once again I awoke and heard his voice and looked into his eyes. I cannot sleep without fear of what might next awake to experience. I cannot ever awake. Goodbye. Round in the same wooden box were 2 empty envelopes addressed to William and Rose, and 1 loose personal letter with no envelope. Dearest Lenny, I have prayed for you. He spoke your name. A journal entry translated from Spanish, 1880. I have experienced the greatest terror. I have experienced the greatest terror. I have experienced the greatest terror. I saw his eyes when I closed mine. They are hollow, black. They saw me and pierced me. His wet hand. I will not sleep. His voice. A Mariner's Log, 1691. He came to me in my sleep. From the foot of my bed, I felt a sensation. He took everything. We must return to England. We shall not return here again at the request of the Rake. From a Witness, 2006. 3 years ago, I had just returned from a trip from Niagara Falls with my family for the 4th of July. We were all very exhausted after a long day of driving, so my husband and I put the kids right to bed and called it a night. It's about 4 a.m. I woke up thinking my husband had gotten up to use the restroom. I used the moment to steal back the sheets, only to awake him in the process. I apologized and told him, though he got out of bed, when he turned to face me, he gasped and pulled his feet up from the end of the bed so quickly, his knee almost knocked me out of the bed. He then grabbed me and said nothing. After adjusting to the dark for a half second, I was able to see what caused the strange reaction. At the foot of the bed, sitting facing away from us, there was what appeared to be a naked man or a large hairless dog of some sort. Its body position was disturbing and unnatural, as if it had been hit by a car or something. For some reason, I was not instantly frightened by it, but more concerned as to its condition. At this point, I was somewhat under the assumption that we were supposed to help him.
My husband was peering over his arm and knee, tucked into the fetal position, occasionally glancing at me before returning to the creature. In a flurry of motion, the creature scrambled around the side of the bed, crawled quickly into a flowing sort of motion right along the bed until it was less than a foot from my husband's face. The creature was completely silent for about 30 seconds, or probably closer to 5. It just seemed like a while. Just looking at my husband, the creature then placed its hand on his knee and ran into the hallway, leading to the kids' room. I screamed and ran for the light switch, planning to stop him before he hurt my children. When I got to the hallway, the light from the bedroom was enough to see it crouching and hunched over about 20 feet away. He turned around and looked directly at me, covered in blood. I flipped the switch on the wall and saw my daughter, Clara. The creature ran down the stairs while my husband and I rushed to help our daughter. She was very badly injured and spoke only once more in her short life. She said, "He is the Rake." My husband drove his car into the lake that night while rushing our daughter to the hospital. He did not survive. Being a small town, news got around pretty quickly. The police were helpful at first, and the local newspaper took a lot of interest as well. However, the story was never published, and the local television news never followed up either. For several months, my son Justin and I stayed in a hotel near my parents' house. After we decided to return home, I began looking for answers myself. I eventually located a man in the next town over who had a similar story. We got in contact and began talking about our experiences. He knew of 2 other people in New York who had seen the creature we now referred to as the Rake. It took the 4 of us about 2 solid years of hunting on the internet and writing letters to come up with a small collection of what we believed to be accounts of the Rake. None of them gave any details, history, or follow-up. One journal had an entry involving the creature in its first 3 pages, and never mentioned it again. A ship's log explained nothing of the encounter, saying only that they were told to leave by the rake. That was the last entry in the log. There were, however, many instances where the creature's visit was one of a series of visits with the same person. Multiple people also mentioned being spoken to, my daughter included. This led us to wonder if the rake had visited any of us before our last encounter. I set up a digital recorder near my bed and left it running all night, every night, for 2 weeks. I would tediously scan through the sounds of me rolling around in my bed each day when I woke up. By the end of the second week, I was quite used to the occasional sound of sleep while blurring through the recording at 8 times the normal speed. This still looked almost an hour every day. On the first day of the 3rd week, I thought I heard something different. What I found was a shrill voice. It was the rake. I can't listen to it long enough to begin to transcribe it. I haven't let anyone listen to it yet. All I know is that I've heard it before, and I now believe that it spoke when it was sitting in the front of my husband. I don't remember hearing anything at the time, but for some reason, the voice of the recorder immediately brings me back to that moment. The thoughts that must have gone through my daughter's head make me very upset. I have not seen the rake since he ruined my life, but I know that he has been in my room while I slept. I know in fear that one night I'll wake up and see him again staring at me. I got fucking cold chills, man.
Yeah, dude. That I love that creepypasta.
Oh, man.
Guys, we hope you enjoyed it. We wanted to definitely get a creepypasta out. I've been a huge fan of them. Letty is as well.
Oh, yeah.
And that one has always been my favorite. We have another one called 11 Miles we agreed on, and it's a God, dude,
Oh, man.
It's crazy.
The ritual creepypastas, they probably get me the most because it's something if we, wanted to do, we could. And, oh, man, just...
Yeah, 11 Miles in the Elevator Game.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that shit is crazy.
Some other good ones. Jeff the Killer.
Yep.
Smile Dog.
Yep.
Those are probably 2 classics. Smiling Jack is another one. It's
Yep.
really good. Go look up creepypastas, and if you don't want to read, there's a many YouTubers out there that read them.
Yeah, Mr. Nightmare. Check him out. If you want good creepypastas, he's good. There's some other good ones.
You
out
got,
there, too.
I think there's like a Mr. Creepypasta. There's a Creeps McPasta. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they're all really good, and they all got that voice, that deep voice, sends chills down your spine.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
holy shit.
All right, now moving on.
Welcome to Thunderdome, bitch.
This week, guys, we have an interesting battle as our Halloween, we'll call it tourney, continues.
Oh, yeah.
Jason took week 1, defeating Michael Myers. Machete will always outdo Butcher Knife. But Jason's moving on. So this week we have a great battle. This is going to be a very interesting one because we have from...
2 friends coming for you. 3, 4, then lock your door. 5, 6, grab your crucifix. 7, 8, gonna stay up late. 9, 10, never sleep again.
Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger taking on... It's Pennywise. These two are evenly matched. I think they're both similar. They
are.
got a lot in common too. So Freddy was known as the Springwood Slasher. Pennywise, they called him Pennywise the Dancing Clown. He had a lot of names.
Scary
actually,
fucking
that
clown.
some that I didn't even know. Freddy Krueger was again the Springwood Slasher, tormented and killed many, from children to adults, on Nightmare on Elm Street movies, and did it through their dreams to beat it all.
Yeah.
Like Mo said. That's some creepy shit.
That is some creepy
because
shit.
eventually you have to go to sleep, so that makes Freddy unstoppable, right? Next we got Pennywise. He is a demon that can shapeshift into any object, person, animal, you name it, Pennywise can transform into it.
Oh, yeah.
That means that he is also unstoppable, right? So we brought these two to the arena to find out who is the more unstoppable killer I don't know what you'd call these two motherfuckers. I guess demons. But that's how we're going to figure out and see who moves on to the next week in this tournament. So let's see who will move on to kill another day. Now let the battle commence. So, Letty, these are two interesting ones.
They are.
Two great movies, classic movies, Stephen King and then, Robert Englund. Both two great producers. Pennywise is considered a demon. Freddy, I know he was killing a lot of the children around there. The townspeople got pissed off and eventually burnt his ass,
Yep.
and he came back. So this is kind of an interesting battle. I think Pennywise, in my opinion, would probably beat Freddy. Just kind of depends who could get who in, whose world.
Yeah.
But then again, Pennywise can kind of shapeshift in anything. So then even if he does go into Freddy's world, does that mean that he will he be able to shapeshift? Or will he...
I don't know.
That's kind of an interesting thing with me. So I guess it would really kind of depend on, okay, can either of these kind of get each other in their world, or are we playing on a level? Let's just say that we're playing on a level playing field.
Let's say level playing field and how they do their killings.
Yeah.
So like with Freddy, you have to be asleep no matter what. You have to be asleep for him to come kill you.
Yeah.
In my opinion, Pennywise has an advantage because you don't have to be asleep to get fucked up by him.
No.
So he's there at all times, but damn, this is difficult.
Yeah, he is, because see, Freddy, he's kind of just got the claw, but see, Pennywise, he can shapeshift into anything. He can, there's just so many different weapons that he could kind of bring to the table. Freddy, now I know in his world he can, like when Freddy versus Jason, he was throwing them everywhere, kind of levitating shit down on them, like with the bars, all those bars he threw into them. But the thing is, Pennywise is a demon, so pretty much I think whatever Freddy could throw at him, I just see Pennywise could survive it, and then he could just go for the death blow, which, geez, what would it really be? Good God, you never know. There's a lot of stuff he could do, but I think eventually he could probably get Freddy into a vulnerable spot to where he can take form of Freddy and have him fucking kill himself.
Oh man,
you know what I'm saying?
He probably could. Freddy's weakness is fire. All you have to do is go into his world and somehow manipulate it, so set him in his own ring of fire.
Yeah. And Pennywise was good at manipulating, because
He
he got a
was.
lot of those kids down in the drain.
Yeah.
And would grab them down there. So I think we got to say Pennywise here.
Pennywise would probably be the winner, but if I had to go up to any of them, I would stay away from Freddy before I would Pennywise.
See, the thing with Pennywise, if they hadn't have done him in the form of a clown,
He probably wouldn't have been scary.
yeah, really. But I think in a way, though, that kind of took a lot from it. Like, I just felt like they could have maybe went another route, but then again, maybe it wouldn't have been the same.
Oh yeah, a lot of people wouldn't be scared of clowns as what they are now.
Yeah, a lot of people just, they hate clowns, or they just are scared of them or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But just a lot of the powers, like I know he did a battle, this guy did it on YouTube, you should check out, of him versus the fucking Joker.
Holy shit.
Yeah, shit was crazy, but he fucked the Joker up, man.
Of course.
He was just too powerful, but the Joker gave him hell, man. He really did. He pulled off some shit. It was an interesting fight there that I thought was cool. But yeah, guys, I think we're going to go Pennywise here. We just feel like with the shape shifting and he just has so many weapons. We feel like if he did get drug into Freddy's world, he would be able to manipulate it and just kind of bring Freddy down. I just don't really see a scenario here where Freddy could win. Maybe not.
It would be interesting as fuck to watch him fight. The only way I could see Freddy being able to pull anything out, once he brought Penny to his world, he was able to, come up with his fucking nightmare.
If he could stop the shape shifting, yeah, Pennywise would kind of be fucked then, really. Because what does he really have?
But if we did even playing field, I think Pennywise would pull it out. It'd probably be a long ass fight.
Yeah, it would.
Like a good 20-minute scene if it was in a movie.
Yeah, exactly. Well, him and the Joker went for a while. That's who we picked, guys. Let us know who you would choose. Again, like we always say, maybe there's an angle we didn't look. Maybe there's some facts that we didn't think of. So these are just kind of our opinion. Let us know who you guys would choose. We would love to hear it.
Oh man, so now we got Jason who won last week's, and we got Pennywise who won this week's.
Yeah, it makes me wonder, with us doing the show next week with EJ and them, I don't know, because we'll probably just be talking to them the whole time.
We could probably fit in a couple battles, let them choose
yeah.
their own shit.
Yeah, we could do that, or if we do that, then I feel like if we don't do it the very last week, it'll be Pennywise versus Jason, or we should do 2 battles in one next week, and then one winner could face Jason the final week, one winner could face, and then we could just, who wins those,
We'll
we could
go
do
for the 2.
Yeah.
Sounds
We
like
could do something like that, or because you can't really leave out Leatherface. You can't really leave out, good God, who else you got?
Oh
Jesus.
man, you got Leatherface. You can't leave out Pinhead from Hellraiser.
Pinhead,
He's creepy as fuck, man.
Yeah.
You got all them people, and then you also got, I guess you could say your paranormal things, stuff from, The Ring, The Grudge.
Annabelle versus Chucky.
Annabelle versus Chucky.
Oh,
I
my
think we
God.
got one for next week.
Oh, shit, dude. That would be a fucking great one, though. Because think about, Annabelle's a demon, too. So is Pennywise. That would be a fucking hell of a battle right there. And I love the Conjuring movies. Those are one of my favorites. All right, guys. Now moving on to the favorite time of the show.
It has been one of them motherfucking days. I tell y'all, it has been one of them motherfucking days.
Letty, it's time to fucking rant.
Let's fucking rant, DT.
Letty kind of isn't too familiar with this. I kind of brought her up to speed, but this is just something, guys, that though it may not be Halloween related, it's something that I've been watching this week and I feel like really needs to be addressed because I kind of feel like it is a scam. A lot of people have pointed out a lot of things and it just spells scam. Let's be honest, but it's BetterHelp.com. They are an online counseling service. If you're depressed, you got anxiety real bad, I don't know, you don't want to leave the comfort of your home and do a face-to-face counseling. They have counselors there that will sit down with you online, talk to you. If it's something that they feel is they can't really diagnose or out of their hands, whatever it may be, they will of course tell you to go to a face-to-face counselor. But a lot of YouTubers getting involved in this. My old douchebag of the week, Philip DeFranco, kind of led this campaign here. He's a partner that nobody knew he was a partner. They just thought he was sponsored. He got a lot of other big-name YouTubers on this, so let's have a rant. So, Letty, this is a little fucked up, man. I just feel like it's almost like they're profiting off of mental health.
Oh, yeah, and the way you explained it to me, that's exactly what's happening.
So, BetterHelp.com, again, guys, they have counselors that, they will, you sign up. I guess you get 7 days for free. And then after that, of course, you're charged a fee. I think they're saying their fee is $65 a week, whereas if you went to a face-to-face counselor, it's like $150 and up. Now, there's been a lot of red flags kind of go up. I've seen a lot of the YouTubers promoting this. Philip DeFranco, everybody just kind of thought he was sponsored by them, and then he was kind of saying, hey, check out these YouTubers. Well, it was later found out his company, Rogue Rocket, he's actually partnered with them. They get $200 fucking everybody that signs up.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so of course they get these other YouTubers, and when you're presenting it like that, when you have an audience that's depressed or just whatever it may be, and you're throwing it out, you're getting that kind of money.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you're going to shove it down their fucking throat.
Oh, yeah.
But they're portraying it like they thought, like Philip DeFranco's saying, oh, I thought it was a good thing. It's a good service. It'll help people. But then there was a lot of red flags, like in their terms of service. It's kind of like they're not backing their counselors. They're, almost saying, hey, if this motherfucker turns out to be this, or this, almost like we didn't know about it. So it could just be some regular fucking dude that you're talking to. It's not a licensed. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, they should be licensed because mental health is nothing to joke about. A lot of people make jokes and shit. Me included. I've made plenty of jokes, but it's nothing to really joke about if someone's coming for serious help. Because one wrong word and that person could take their life or someone else's lives because you don't know if they're depressed. You don't know if they got anger issues. And if you sit there and you give someone a 7-day trial and they try to cancel it, but you still charge them.
Yeah, they're charging them for a full month after that 7 days, and nobody. Like $200 and something fucking dollars.
Oh yeah, because who the fuck just randomly has that kind of money just chilling?
Yeah.
And then you know, they'll be like, well, maybe they needed that money for something. Well, guess what? You just took this poor, depressed person's money, and now you never know. They might not be able to pay a bill now because of you.
Yeah, and that's in turn going to make them worse
off.
off.
Yeah, it's going to make them even worse. Or, you know, if they're not trained, if I wanted to talk to somebody who wasn't a trained counselor, I would just sit down with my friends. I'd have a conversation with DT to get stuff off my chest.
Yeah, exactly. And the things that they're finding out other than in terms of service, people are saying that counselors weren't showing up to their appointments. Though they canceled the service or whatever, they, of course, were still getting charged. They were saying stuff like they had reviews on there, and they had a video of a guy going, Julian says, and then starts reading a review, but his counselor was named Jennifer. Even PewDiePie talked about this. He's like, who the fuck is Julian? It was a dude saying it. Like, it's almost like his dumb ass was reading a review, and instead of not reading the part that says Julian says, he fucking read that part with the review. Like, it was creepy. And, you know, a lot of people didn't know Philip DeFranco was partnered with them, and he has Patreons, and a lot of people like Keemstar have criticized this because he's like, you know, he had his news company, he sold it to CNN. Well, he in turn wanted to buy it back and buy it all to where he could be the only one running it. So we started a Patreon, which, you know, it's a little fucked up if you've got a lot of money. Why are you having people? But he did it to buy it back. So they were donating this money for a fucking news show. Well, when this BetterHelp thing came out and he was facing all these accusations, he said, this goal of mine is to have a third-party, like, ad agency sales team. And everybody's like, well, hold on. These people are paying for a news show. They're not paying for you to have an ad agency. Because that's the way he was presenting it for getting these other YouTubers. And then he would sign them up with BetterHelp, kind of point them in that direction, and he was getting a percentage. So the whole thing's shady. Like, they had a thing up that said they had 4 million users, and they've now changed it to 400,000.
What the fuck?
It's just weird shit after weird shit. And I'm sorry, Letty, that spells scam to me.
Oh, yeah, that does spell scam because, I mean, you go from saying 4 million people use this to 400,000. Well, I mean, for one, that's a big-ass fucking difference.
Yeah, that's a huge number.
That is a huge fucking
But my thing is, why change it?
Yeah, why change it? You got some shady shit going on. I mean, that's just shady as fuck any damn way. And then the whole, they cancel it and they charge you anyway.
I forgot to mention this. Or they would, like, people would sign up for it and I guess tell their problem, and they would go, oh, you need a licensed face-to-face counselor. And they were like, well, what? We signed up, though, to say, to see them. I don't know. The whole thing is weird. There's a lot of red flags.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, I can understand the whole, you want to be a homebody, you don't want to get out and go talk to someone about your problems.
Yeah.
If this was a legit thing, it would be great.
Yeah.
But with them saying, oh, our people aren't really licensed, and if they tell you to go talk to a licensed counselor, I'm like, why would I pay $200 and some a month for that when I can go get the real help?
Yeah, exactly, because it's like you're presenting it as that, hey, we're providing this service for you so you don't have to leave the comfort of your home, and people see comfort in that.
Oh, yeah.
And Philip DeFranco, I guess he had an interview, last thing I'm going to say on this, and I mean, this guy signed up, big YouTubers. Shane Dawson, he's got 17 million subscribers. Boogie, I don't know, the dude's changed his 298, whatever the hell. He's another big one, but then he and his friends figured out that Philip DeFranco's company, that's how I figured out he was partnered. These two girls did an interview with Philip DeFranco, and after he had made the video addressing all these accusations, when they had brought it up, a girl had asked a question on the show, like, hey, we're sitting here paying for a news show. Why are you doing the ad agency thing with our money? He then in turn goes, well, I was just facing a lot of accusations. I shouldn't have said that. He said, none of your money is being used for the ad agency. Well, and it just seemed really disingenuous and just like a lie and fake. And the whole thing stinks. The more people dig up, the more I notice there's a lot of backpedaling from BetterHelp. The end of the day, mental health issues are a serious problem in this country.
They are.
From school shootings to just depression, and you have to be really touchy with certain people.
Oh, yeah.
What if somebody gets the wrong kind of information and, God forbid, goes off and does something, crazy? I mean, it sucks, man. This isn't something to play around with, and if this is a way you want to get money, This is sad.
Especially whenever you have this big-ass YouTube channel and he's got millions of
Yes.
subscribers.
Yeah.
You know he's making some decent bank off of just that.
Well, and Philip DeFranco, with all due respect, was not really... He was doing more defending BetterHelp than
Yeah.
he was explaining why it's a scam, and he
Oh,
was
yeah.
doing more damage control. You were not a part of the scam, then you would kind of be more shitting on BetterHelp. He even went up looking good reviews on there. Yeah, you can have good reviews, but how do you know they're not being paid to be
Oh,
put
yeah.
on there? Because a lot of people have found that out. The whole thing stinks. But this is just something I felt we had to talk about. I mean, mental health issues are just not something to fuck around with. I wasn't cool with it. I don't.
Oh, God, no.
I don't appreciate it, and I'm fucking ashamed that somebody. I mean, if this is how we're using a platform, make way for the people that won't shit on people. And you got anything in closing, Letty?
It's a bunch of bullshit and scams like this. I mean, I will call it a scam. That's exactly what the fuck it is.
I mean, let's be honest. You
Yeah.
call a spade a spade. you
Oh
know?
yeah, this shit shouldn't be happening, especially around people with mental health. I mean, we've both said it. We've even said it on past episodes. I mean, you never know what can set someone off, and if you fuck someone over like that, the consequences, man.
Yeah.
You just gotta think of that.
Yeah, and he deserves everything coming to him.
Oh
I
yeah, he
mean,
does.
I don't know. I just hate he drug other good YouTubers in. You know,
Oh,
it
yeah.
just sucks. But guys, that's gonna do it for episode 25, House of Horrors of the Ready Set Show podcast. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us, and guys, you have to tune in next week. Paranormal investigators, our good friend EJ and her husband will be on. We want everybody to tune in. As always, like, share, follow all our social media pages. Definitely our Facebook at RSS Podcast. That is where we post all the information about the show. And definitely follow the Podbean and our YouTube as well. Just search Ready Set Show Podcast. And,
Hell yeah.
And Apple Podcasts.
And Apple Podcasts.
But that's going to conclude the episode 25 of the Ready Set Show Podcast. I'm DT.
And I'm Letty.
And remember, if you can't say anything nice,
We will gladly say it for you.
we out. Peace.
Boo!
Ooh. Trick or treat, bitch.